Howdy, this is Marissa with Marissa Moments. So I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, but I didn't want to forget about Tarot Tuesday, also known as Oracle Tuesday. I will be using my Marissa Moments personally made Oracle deck to do a collective reading for you. Just remember, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. So now I'm going to speed things up and go on ahead and show you the shuffle at 4 times normal speed. Here we go. Okay, so I don't know why it just took me 10,000 years to take the picture of the cards. Something has been on delay for you, huh? And it's starting to get a little bit frustrating, but let's address it. Let's see if Spirit is going to tell us what's what through these cards. Now, the first one that flew out was straight up to the point. Organize your shite, right? Get organized is what I hear. I've been receiving that inclination, that pull, that urge to get organized. Now, what I received to share about my personal self is that oftentimes before holidays, before any time that I know I'm going to be receiving any type of blessings, I like to make sure that I go through what I already have and give out any blessings to others. You know, the things that no longer serve purpose with me, the things that I can no longer use, but I know other people can. So what I received to share with you is that you need to get organized, because in order to receive blessings, you need to, 1, count your blessings and make sure that those blessings count is what I hear. And then outside of that, the card was fill your own cup. Actually, let me break this down real quick because I'm already going into the cards, but I haven't told you what they are. So we have organize your shite, fill your own cup. Coming out in reversed is ideas without action are like dreams. They disappear when you wake. So that came out in reverse. Don't quit after the first failure, you know, failure in quotes. And then every challenge that you faced has been overcome and triumphed. I made a little oopsie on that card. So anyway, they're all going to be listed, of course, as you can see. Now getting back to the actual reading, fill your own cup. What I received is the reason why you do have to organize your shite, just like I gave in the example, is so that way you can start to receive those blessings. And it is going to be a lot. What I receive is coming from you, but not just coming from you. It's not like you're giving yourself gifts, right? It's you giving yourself permission to receive, right? Fill your own cup. Know that you are worthy of the things that you are receiving. And also what I hear is don't be afraid to let things go, because what I receive for you is that oftentimes you don't want to let things go for fear that it's not going to be replaced, right? For fear that you're going to end up in a state of lack. Now, what I want to share with you, what I receive is that the more you focus on that lack, the more you focus on that fear, the more you're going to actually be calling it into yourself, right? So instead, count your blessings, watch them multiply, know, trust, and believe. And no, I'm not reading, I'm reading, right? Know, trust, and believe that when you make yourself and your things a blessing to someone else, you make space for blessings to come into you. There we go, tongue twister. And then we have in reverse, ideas without action are like dreams. They disappear when you wake. And what I received very clearly on why it's in reverse is because what I receive is that you continue to feel fear. Like a lot of this is very fear-based, right? You don't want to let things go because you're sitting in a space of fear. You feel as if your dreams aren't going to come to fruition unless you are constantly like Johnny on the spot is what I hear. I feel like you always have to be in a constant state of motion. Otherwise you feel like what I hear is disappear. You feel like you're going to disappear. But what Spirit is saying is that you have to allow your space that time. What I see is like a big exhale, right? Like waiting to exhale, right? If you know, you know, like that. Just literally take a breath right now. And if it feels uncomfortable, that's even more sign that you need to do it. Just in, out, and allow that energy to sit. Allow it to settle, just like how the dust can settle, right? And then what I receive is that once the dust settles, that's when you're going to have that greater clarity. But because you keep going, almost like what I see is like a wind-up toy, right? That's just going on top of a table. If you continue in that energy, not only will you lead yourself into exhaustion, what I hear is that you're exhausted right now anyway. Then that's just proof positive and verification, confirmation, all of those Asians that this is actually about you. You keep wearing yourself into the ground. You have to give yourself that time to just breathe. And that's when that clarity is going to come. And then the card is don't quit after your first failure. Now, the reason why failure is in quotes here is because it's a perceived failure, right? Failures are only failures if we decide that that's what it is, right? If we are actually ready, willing, and able to look for the lessons behind them, if we're able to allow that perceived failure to give us direction in order to like kind of tweak what we're doing, then it's not a failure. It's just a lesson and a redirection, right? Look for the redirections and do not quit. Yeah, sure, you're going to bump your head. People are going to talk junk and all that type of stuff, but do not quit, because that's the only true failure is when you quit. And that quitting is not based off of divine instruction. It's just based off of defeat, right? And then, speaking of defeat, can't make this up, every challenge that you faced have been overcome. So every time that you feel like you are in that state of deficit, anytime you feel like you are going towards defeat, anytime you start telling yourself that you are a failure, that whatever you're attempting is failing, remind yourself of every single situation that you have come across, that has come across you, all those different ways of saying the same thing that you have actually overcome. Every single time. Because look at you, you're here right now, you're here, regardless of the mental, physical, and emotional state that you may subscribe to yourself is what I received. Because what I received to share with you is that you may feel down right now, and that's just temporary. But when it comes down to the different moments, and I see it like broken up into pieces, right? All of those different struggles that you have come across, each one you have not only like survived, but you've thrived through it. However, oftentimes it's difficult for you to see that because you just focus on the struggle as opposed to the triumph. So what God, Gaia, ancestors, angels, and saints are trying to get you to do overall through this reading is, one, get organized, and make sure that you are reminding yourself that you are worthy of receiving those blessings. Slow down. Get to a certain point where you do take that breath so you can have a greater viewpoint of everything that's going on. And even when you feel like you're faced with that perceived failure, do not quit. Like, do not quit is what I received. Don't quit. You have to keep going. And anytime that you get that inclination, and again, that is not divine instruction, because divine instruction will tell you to step away, right? Divine instruction will sometimes say, okay, that's enough, my child, let's move on. But what I receive is that this quitting is just you perceiving failure and not wanting to look. What I hear is like, you don't want to feel embarrassed behind what is perceived to be failure, because you're often judged by all of those people around you. I see you as like this pillar, right? You're in the center. Everyone else is around you. Let's do some visuals here, right? Everyone else is around you. And those are the people that are judging you. They're talking junk. They're saying all these things, but you're that pillar. Like, look how strong you are. Look how firm you are. Look how just majestic you are, versus the ring of people outside of you who actually low key wish that they could become you. But let's not go off subject. So do not quit just based off of what these little people are saying. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you versus them. Okay. We're not comparing. We're not saying one is better than the other, but we're saying this example and illustration so that you know you need to continue on despite what anyone around you is saying, because those people around you do not represent the universe, do not represent God, do not represent the people on a global scale. And finally, just recognize that you will continue to triumph, just like you haven't done in the past. And should we check a bottom of the deck card? Oh, okay. And so bottom of the deck, challenge the damage, because that's why you're feeling like you're a failure. The past might have told you you're failing. The people around you might be scoffing at you, belittling you, doing all these things, but you need to challenge that damage. Those toxic notions are not your truth. So do not live in them. Keep it moving, get organized, and move forward, because this is your time. And that's it. Tomato. I forgot to say apple. Apple and tomato. Bye.